Welcome to Data Crunch, where we talk about the ABCD, again, AI, big data, cloud computing, and data science. Now, today we're going to talk about courses, data science courses, and it's funny because we've just finished day one of Data Science 360 in this place itself. And before we go off this place, let's talk about data science courses in Malaysia. So a lot of people are searching for different types of certifications and courses in Malaysia. What kind of universities to go for, what kind of short courses, bootcamps to go for, right? Today, we're going to tell you what to avoid. What are some red flags in a data science course that you should be very wary about? Now, let's start off with what universities don't teach you when it comes to data science courses. Again, sorry to this, but let's be clear on this one.
When you are choosing a uni, you should look at the programs and the skills that you learn. Will they actually translate into some skills that you can apply in real world? When you look at their course prospectus, you know that they say, oh, we're going to cover blockchain or certified blockchain developer, that sort of things. And I think whenever you see a lot of buzzwords, artificial intelligence, these are the red flags or something that you should avoid.
And why do you think, Dr. Lau, why do you think universities put so many sort of features or subjects in a data science course like blockchain and all that?
So university itself is actually a very competitive business. If a lot of people didn't notice, right, they're just not an education provider, but they need to face a lot of things like under the scrutiny of MQA, so they need to stick to the governance process. And every time when they want to update their curriculum, they actually need to go through a long process. I see the MQA, so I understand how long it takes just to update or roll out a new course. And the second thing is they also face the pressure from the industry, because a lot of times when an employer hire a university graduate, they will expect the university graduate is able to work the next day they were hired without any training process or any practical onboarding process. But the reality is not. A fresh grad from a university, any university, whether it's a local, overseas, they need to go through a process to gain the experience in the industry. Right? Something that I've been always talking about is the domain knowledge in the industry. So they might have some technical skills, but they have no domain knowledge, whether it's oil and gas, mechanical engineering, finance, they don't know anything about it. So it takes time for them to get familiar with how things are done and what are some culture behind it, and there are some red flags, red tapes in the particular industry.
So don't get us wrong, we're not discounting universities or the value of joining a university or enrolling for it. But in terms of data science courses in university, who should go for it and who should not go for it?
If you have the luxury of time, that means you are looking for a bachelor degree courses, and then you know that okay, you don't mind trade off your time and the school fee with some fundamental knowledge, because what universities covered are those fundamental science like mathematics, calculus, and then statistics, and those things, to be honest, this is something that we should highlight here. Those things that you learn in uni, you don't learn it outside at work. I mean, when you go to work, you cannot ask the senior, say, hey, Ruben, I don't know what is logistic regression. Can you walk me through what is this formula for, how to interpret this equation? No, they don't. They expect you to take this data set and apply logistic regressions and get the results and present it, right? So that's the good things about university. And of course, the networking, the environments that you build there, and also the formal training when it comes to academic practices like writing a paper, academic writing. It might not seem directly applicable to what you're doing at work, but this sort of training, I think it helps to shape your thought process as well.
So not to promote our class here again, but what's the difference from joining like a short program like Data Science 360 in this setting compared to going to university?
A program like this, whether you call it a training program, a certification program, is actually to complement what they have learned in university. Now, let's say we use Data Science 360 as an example. Right, yeah? We have 4 full days of training, that's 32 hours, plus a lot of bring home exercises, online videos, and tutorial extra reading assignments. And these add up to at least 40 hours of hands-on work and some, I would call it face-to-face coaching, right? And this is equivalent to a university subject already.
Right.
Yeah, 32 to 40 hours. This is a typical uni subject duration, right? And when they come to program like this, they are focused. And one thing that we always talk about is this course is run on the weekend, so you are free from
Full focus.
Yeah, full focus, right? No emails, no work WhatsApp, or at least the very minimum amount of that. Yeah. So and it helps you to break into data science in a fast pace. It's an accelerated pace, so that we only talks about those industry best practices, use industry data sets, and you straight away learn how to apply those tools at work.
Right, and the real world applications, the real world data sets are very important for applying whatever they learn in real work.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. So this is not toy data set or some textbooks examples, I would call it.
So if I'm a student, maybe I'm quite young, I'm in university, I'm going through the whole SEM there, right?
Yeah.
Should I also join a program like Data Science 360? This is something that a lot of students actually ask us before they come to a program like this.
When they ask this question, right, I would say their main intention is to know whether a program like this will help them to get their first job, get a higher entry salary, because a lot of people know that your first job actually set the stage for you, right?
Yeah.
If you work in a better company, if you get a higher pay at your first job, then your subsequent jobs and subsequent experience will be affected to a certain degree. So I think this sort of program certification will definitely help you to stand out among other candidates. I'm definitely not saying that this program can replace any degree or degrees are not important. Definitely not that. But it will help you to gain real world experience, and then it helps you to build a stronger portfolio, and then it helps you to make you stand out among other people.
And for those viewers who are studying and thinking of doing 2 courses, do you think it's worth for them to spend the extra effort and time to do both at the same time?
A lot of people, when they get a job, right, let's say people are just looking at their CGPA, but let's say your CGPA is not that high, but not that bad. You're not like 2.8, 2.5, you're probably 3.6, 3.5, right? And then with a certification like this, and you spend some time, we're not talking about spending a lot of time. You spread this across like 2 weekends, and then you practice on your own, right, for another 5 to 6 weeks. This is what we usually see in our students.
Right.
I think it's a reasonable and achievable goal.
So obviously there's a lot of courses out in the market, short courses, long courses, uni, colleges, all about data science coming out like mushrooms, right? Now let's talk about what are the red flags that one should see as a danger sign not to join that particular data science course.
Okay, so to recap from the previous red flags, I think you all still remember, if any courses that promotes a lot of buzzwords, like AI, Bitcoin, blockchain, all these sort of things, big data still, then this is the number one red flag. I was still going to warn you, right?
Created by marketers.
Yeah, correct. And the second thing is, I think you should also look up on the credential of the instructor, because when you are looking for a course like this, right, you actually you're looking for coaching. You're not looking to buy information or to get some course content, because the material is everywhere, right? You can go Coursera, go Udemy.
It's all there.
It's all there, right? We're going to be upfront with you. It's all there. But what you're looking for is to learn something from the instructors, from their real experience, and how do you debug your code when something happens, or how do you translate your business problem from your industry to a particular type of data science problem and take it from there. So the instructor's industry experience, it plays an important role. If some of the programs, they didn't even tell you who the instructor. That means they will see which instructor are available at that time,
they just push it into
they
the
just
course.
put them into that. So this is another red flag. So I would say if you are going to sign up for a short course or boot camps like this, definitely check out the credential of the instructor.
Okay, I'm going to move into a bit of a touchy subject here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of courses that promise you employment at the end.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those? 100% employment. I won't say who, but we've definitely seen those kind of ads.
Yeah, I'm sure that for those of you who are watching this episode, you have seen and come across advertisement like that. So I'm going to throw this question back to Ruben. Why did marketers promise this? What is the rationale behind? I can tell you the answer. Definitely they are going to answer that. The sample size is definitely smaller, because even for the completion rate, I cannot say that the completion rate is 100%. So how are they going to promise something like 100% employment?
Okay, so the truth is, when people join courses, they don't join the course for the course. They join for that outcome that they want at the end. So marketers know this, people like me know this, right? And we sort of like put in all those kind of claims trying to get people to join the course for that outcome. So we know a lot of people want to get a job, right, in data science, and without filtering down to their level of understanding, to their level of qualifications and competency, we say 100% job employment, and that's a little bit of like a red flag there, I would say.
Yeah, and to add on to what Ruben has just mentioned, right, something that you should take note also, the 100% employment, not necessarily they are employed with a job that helps you, that you want, right? It's not your dream job. And if you look at it from the opposite side, you should increase your own value and make sure that people come and headhunt you. And I would rather say that you're 100% headhuntable. That is something that sounds more attractive to me. Rather than, okay, I'm guaranteeing you're going to get 100% to get a job, but whether the job is going to help you, something that you want,
or a company that you are proud to work at, or we just push you into a company that is, dodgy and all that, and you're like, oh, that's the claim, right? So that's the red flag there, we think, in courses that promise 100% employment. Okay, let's move into our last segment of this episode, right? And it's as students move into employment, go into the workforce, right? Now, what do companies actually seek or look for in these candidates that they hire?
Okay, now this is something that a lot of I think these sort of interview tactics is applicable at my time, like a bit old school. They will tell the candidate, like, you go and tell the company, say, oh, I'm hardworking, I'm keen to learn.
What's your biggest weakness?
How do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And I'm a keen learner, right? So these are no longer the requirements. The company don't see that, especially when they look at those people who are born after 90s, the younger generation, the TikTok generation. They know that you are looking for somewhere fun to work, the culture. But I would like to still go back to the basics, right? Is that you need to be somebody who are honest. So you need to tell people what are your strengths and what are your weakness. So you know that, okay, let's say your strength is in numbers. You can tell the interviewer that, so I'm good at numbers, I love numbers, and I explore some side projects at my own time. And to show them that you are a keen learner, not just saying I'm a keen learner, right? But rather show them, oh, I do side projects during my free time. I took part in competitions, I took part in hackathons, and these are some good activities that can boost your credibility or credential. That's number one, as a job seeker. And then number two is, I think you need to be able to show your boss that you understand the industry. You are not just here to look for a job. That means you cannot give people the impressions like, oh, this job is okay, I can't get this job, I'll go to another interview. It's not like that. So I would rather you focus on the few jobs, few positions that you really want. And even though if you did not get the job for some reasons, keep a good relationship with the HR, ask them for feedback. I'm going to tell you, not every HR will reply you, some will just ignore you. Most of them, they will just ignore you. But for those of you who really take the initiative to reply you, or you really manage to make it to round 2 or round 3, they will keep you in mind and contact you afterwards. This happen a lot. So you are not just here for just to touch and go, right? You are just here to know more people, network with people, and understand your weakness, and understand why people hire you, they don't hire you, and make sure you have a good portfolio. Because data science job is different from other jobs. Having a good resume alone is not enough. A strong portfolio will definitely make you a stronger candidate.
I think to add on what you have said, right, a portfolio is important because it helps the employer see what you're capable of. And to add on top of that is, when you go into an interview, what you really want to do is you want to focus on the advantage for the hirer, the employer, rather than yourself. So a lot of people, the mistake they do is they go into interviews thinking about me, or this is what I want.
I want a job.
I want a job, But what is the value you bring to that company, which is really important, and it's like music to the employer's ears when they see or can hear what you can actually do for them to increase their downside of the business.
And always remember the two things, right? Help the company to increase their revenue or to cut costs.
So there you go. I hope you found this episode useful. Red flags about what to look in a data science course. And if you have other comments or other questions, please put them down in the comment section down below. We'll be here for the next episode based on what you tell us in the comments. And until next time, see you.
See you.
Bye.